Oh my God. Changing all these little coolant hoses on an Accord LXI coupe 1989. And this is only part of the little boogers, you know. All these little teeny ones that run all over to control temperatures and the fuel injection and all this stuff, sensors, and oh my God, what a freaking nightmare. So anyway, you know, makes the upper and lower radiator hoses look pretty easy. But anyway, let's check this out a little bit, man. Holy moly, I don't know if I can get the camera down in here, but okay, you got those ones there, two just little short pieces, and of course the whole thing's put together pretty much with spring clamps, and some of them I've ixnayed and some of them I haven't. So you can see, then you come over here and you got I just used the other type of hose clamps there because, man, I got a flexi wrench that makes that easier to get to. So you got that little booger there, okay, and that T-pipe, and then that one comes back around. Trying to stick this camera in the engine bay, it's pretty hard. So then that comes around up to this little sensor up in here, okay. So I got a couple of them there. They come back up there, and then you got another bypass one up in there. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, getting into that sucker is a bee, man. I'd already replaced this one heater hose down here, but I hadn't replaced the elbow there, so now we got the elbow changed. And then the upper one that's missing, well, that's going to be another one of these silicone hoses that'll come back to that other empty port that you see there. But I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if we'll be able to see this thing, but there's a couple more. Anyway, here, I'll show you the ones you can see. There's that little itsy bitsy thing. Ah, doggone, I'm getting all caught up here. Okay, so there's an itsy bitsy one right there. Look at that. Now they got that little spring clamp in there. And then that comes back to there. And then on this side, there's that one down in there. And that one down in there, it wraps around underneath here, man. I mean, let's see if I can find it. It wraps down up underneath there. Some ass where. I mean, I can see it from the top, but it's down up above the, like the oil cleaner or the oil filter down in there. Shit, I can't see this guy. I have no idea exactly where I'm pointing this thing, but she's up in there. Anyway, it comes out, actually, might be able to see it, down through that. No, down through that. Anyway, man, I'll tell you what a freaking biatch. But, you know, get them replaced with some quality hoses, and shouldn't have to do it for another freaking 15 years. Oh, there's that other end of that one, see? Look at that. See, down there in between the intake manifold, you can see the spring clip on it. And that one comes all the way, like I say, back up and around to that one there. And anyway, holy crap, man. What a biatch. I mean, you're talking holy mother of pearl. I mean, look at the clearance that you get in between these hoses to get the hose clamps in. So, I'm just squeaking by the spring clamp with this I think they call them a T-clamp anyway. They're great clamps, but you need a lot of clearance for the bolt end on these type of clamps. We'll get her in there. Anyway, so that's the top heater hose there. Just use the stock piece and just bend it around. Since I lost my factory air box, I got more room to work with there. So, holy mother of pearl. Changing the doggone coolant lines on a Honda Accord LXI coupe is a real bear. I mean, I've been working on this thing for hours. I don't even know if I showed you guys that one down in there, man. I'm telling you what, that thing down in there deep. and it is a BH and 5/8. No, probably a BH and 7/8. Can't even see where the other end it goes down there to anyway. Oh my fucking god. Honda Accord 1989. Okay, got the heater hose back in there. Just use this piece coming around. And anyway, yeah, there she is. Okay, so now to get to that little booger right there, had to remove the throttle cable. So we got the throttle cable removed, and we removed the PVC tubing and pipe that went from there down to, well, right down in there next to that new piece there. So anyway, now I got a little more clearance. Problem is getting these spring clips off. The reason I say I've been working for hours on this thing is getting a couple of these off without super special tools. Oh my god, it took me a long time. Persistence and being careful not to pry against any plastic parts or like break like this, you know, vacuum advance on the distributor or something. I mean, oh my god, you do that, then you're really screwed. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try and get to that sucker now. That's probably gonna take me a while. Now I'll admit this tool is pretty cool. It is a pretty cool tool, but it'll only get you into so many kind of places, you know. It doesn't get you into every place, see? But I got it down there on that clamp and was able to get her loose and then push it with the screwdriver and get it back out of there. So kind of a handy tool, but not like the surgical forceps things that you need sometimes. So anyway, yeah, kind of a cool tool, but doesn't work for every, you know, every place that you might need to do a spring clamp. Now, not going back with the spring clamps because they're too much problem for me to get back on there, but no dissing on the spring clamps, because the spring clamps, as the hose gets old, you know, those spring clamps, well, you don't need to retighten them because they're springy. And what to do is, see, here's all these little spring clamps, and as the hose, you know, gets older or whatever, and you can see where it crimps down on there, she's a spring, so there's no need to retighten it as things get old. It just, you know, it's always applying the pressure, but not too much pressure. But holy moly, those things are a pain in the ass. That's all I could say when they put them in the world's tightest positions. Okay, well, that didn't take me too long to get that booger off. Now, you see where I replaced the electronic idle control valve just a little bit ago. You see how clean that nipple is where the hose goes on. Now, yeah, this thing 26 years old, and hose was supposed to have been replaced like, I don't know, 20 years ago, but I don't know if they did. I think they actually missed a couple of them because they're such a bitch. But see the other end there? She's all kind of like grody looking. So before you put the new tube on, what I do is I take a piece of coarse fiber pad, okay? This is a fiber pad, it's coarse. So this is pretty coarse, but it's not really sandpaper, but it's kind of like that. Anyway, you wrap it around the tube and, you know, work it. Anyway, work some of that crap off of the end of that nipple before you put your new hoses on. So there you go. Doggone. Now, so that would actually leave me, I've been working on this for a while, and there's actually only one more, and that's that really gnarly one that I showed you guys before. That, see, I got to get this auto deal. Show us that tube down there. Anyway, it goes from down inside there to back up there, down in there. So anyway, I don't know. Look at that little dang screen, man. You can't see, my eyes aren't that good. But anyway, that one right there coming to the other side of the idle air control valve on the hot side. Electronic idle air control valve. Anyway, that one was replaced. I had the Pro replace that one for me not too long ago. So I got 4 foot. I got 4 foot of this hose. This is the small, like, I forget now what it's, less than a 1/2 inch diameter. Anyway, this is the really small diameter hose. And I got 4 feet of this shit. But after I replace this one little piece over here, I'm not going to have enough left even if I wanted to replace that other one. So ain't going to replace the other one now, because it's going to be okay for a while anyway. Man, you're talking a biatch and 5/8 to replace these hoses on this old Accord. Now, hopefully this upper radiator hose, after doing all those little things, see, I already got it off on this end. I mean, that got to be a breeze right there. I mean, that can be like a walk in the park. Now, the lower one, well, you can't even really see where the damn clip is down there, so I don't know. That can be a little bit of a bear. The lower one a little harder, but we'll get there. Honda Accord, cooling lines, a jillion of them, and a bunch of those little teeny boogers. And when I changed this one here, I had to totally take off all this, you know, stuff. And anyway, yeah, you got to unbolt a lot of crap. Okay, well, I got that one in there. That didn't take too long. I got that puppy off after I moved, like I say, the throttle cable and the PVC valve tubing. And that hose clamp was really easy, and I thought I put the other one in a good direction, but I probably should have put it the other direction so that I could have got to it from the top. As you see, that's the bottom. But I don't know. I could pull it off again and turn it around. But anyway, look at the clearance between the throttle body and that clamp. Now, this silicone hose is a slightly larger outside diameter, but not much. And I mean, the clearance between that is like nothing, man. But anyway, I can go because I don't have my stock air box on there. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that. And I can come in from the bottom down here. Where's that? And I can come in from the bottom down here and tighten that up. And you know, one thing that can help you if you're working with these small nuts and bolts that are, well, anyway, this is a, let's see here. Set this camera down a minute. This is one of these flexi drivers, see? You can bend it and all that, see? So that works pretty cool. But anyway, there it is. So I think I'll just put a little short screwdriver under there and tighten it up. All right. That ought to do it. Replacing the dang coolant hoses. I'm not even going to go over and show you the doggone upper and lower. But between the upper and lower and the heater hoses, because there's a valve on that heater hose down here, there is 2 pieces there. So I've been trying to add up how many damn hoses we got here. And it looked like we got 13 of them, 13 individual little pieces. Where'd I put that other piece? Anyway, there's like 13 individual hoses, including the upper and lower radiator hoses, heater hoses, etc. So, like here's the little pile again. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 10 would be the one over there that I didn't replace, the little diameter one over there. So that's 10. And so then there'd be in the heater 11, 12, 13. And then the upper and lower would be 14, 15. I don't know. I'm getting lost. Anyway, there's an ass wipe. All right. Checking out the old Accord, man. She's 328,000 miles on this puppy now. And I'll tell you what, she running like a champ since I got the vacuum leaks that were minor but won't throw code, you know, out of that intake manifold and the throttle body via those idle air controllers that have the doggone O-rings in there that after 26 years break down. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. This puppy be running like a freaking champ. All right, checking out with the Honda Accord and changing the doggone coolant lines. Holy moly. Oh, well, I guess one other word for the wise. you know, I mean, I know most people aren't going to be doing this at home themselves, but in these Hondas, most of them, there's a little bleeder valve around your thermostat somewhere. And there's a thermostat housing, and there's a little bleeder valve right here. And you got to open up that bleeder valve when you put the coolant back in, and keep adding coolant till it comes out of there. And depending on, you know, the angle of your car and all that, you know, it's supposed to work level. And then that makes sure that coolant is actually up in that part that has these two sensors that measure temperature of the water. One of them for the fuel injection sensing, and one for the sub fan. So you're going to have problems if you got air in your coolant system. So then once you refill the radiator and you've got fluid coming out of there without air, you go ahead and close it back up, and then you just run the engine till the fan runs a few times. And if you don't have one of those fancy funnels that'll like hold extra coolant right there, you're going to be making a hell of a mess. But you got to wait till the thermo opens up and the fans come on a couple of times, add some more coolant in there, and if you rev it up a little bit, you know, like you want to circulate it, yeah, you're cool. It's kind of a mess without that special funnel. So you might want to get one of those. And then as you're filling it up too, you could always, you know, assuming you don't have a 26-year-old radiator hose that you're going to break down, squeeze that puppy a little bit here and there, you know, and then that kind of helps, you know, purge some of the air out of that system. But if you don't get every ounce out and your radiator cap is operating properly like it should be, then it will, as it cools off, suck coolant up out of your little coolant reservoir thing down there, okay? Assuming that this tube has no leaks either. So, yeah, okay, that's it. I'm really and actually checking out of the coolant hose video on the 1989 Honda Accord. Ciao.